This video will cover the steps for creating an event using 25 Live Pro EventWizard. There are two ways to start the EventWizard. Either click Create an Event in the center of the screen, or you can click Event Form in the blue bar at the top of the screen. The EventWizard page is divided into two parts. On the left are links which, when clicked, will take you to that particular section of the EventWizard. The main body of the page is where information is entered. Each field has an information page accessible by clicking the blue exclamation point. If the field is required, it will be marked so. The event name, which is required, is a name entered for the event. It should be descriptive to make locating the event easier at a later time. Naming an event meeting and then searching events for meeting will return hundreds of results. Naming guidelines include adding the department name and purpose. For instance, Business Office Weekly Meeting or ITS Department Head Meeting. I will demonstrate by creating a meeting called Music Department Auditions. The event title for web calendar, also required, is a longer description used by the 25 Live publisher. Generally, copying the event name into this field is sufficient. Event types are predefined and display in an alphabetical order. This is another required field. If you have any starred event types, they appear at the top of the list. To make an event a starred favorite, click the white star to make the star yellow. Performance is the closest event type, and I will make this choice a starred favorite. An additional note on event types. The wizard will add fields and requirements based upon the type of event. For instance, an alumni event would be asked if alcohol would be served, but a meeting event would never see this question. The next required field is the primary sponsoring organization. This could be a department in the university or a student organization. This field is a search field, but starred organizations will appear. The event is sponsored by the music department, so I will search by entering music. As you enter characters, the list displays results. After I've entered MUS, I see music department. I click to select it, and because I want it to be a starred favorite, I click the white star and make it yellow. If this event would have a co-sponsoring organization, then click Edit and search for the organization. If the organization does not exist, click Create Organization. This is not a required field. Expected headcount is the number of participants for the event. This number will assist in locating spaces with the necessary capacity. The audition has 4 faculty members and 1 student, so the headcount will be 5. Again, this is a required field. The event description, while not required, is suggested. This provides a place to describe the event in detail. Date and time is required and contains multiple settings. Set the date by clicking the Date field. A pop-up calendar will appear. This audition is happening on June 30th, so I click June 30th and the date appears. The time is starting at 1. You click the first time field and select the time you want to end. By default, events are 1 hour, but this time can change by clicking the lower time field and picking the appropriate time. If an event should start before midnight and continue into the next day, then remove the check for this event begins and ends on the same day. Additional time is not required, but will allow for a location to be reserved prior to and afterwards. An example might be a facility's setup and takedown of equipment for an event. If this additional time is not recorded, someone could reserve the location just before or right after the event and not be able to use the location due to facilities moving equipment. When I expand this field, you see the 4 additional time fields. I need a piano moved to the location, so I am reserving 1 hour for setup and 1 hour for takedown. Adding time will increase the location reservation, now set for 3 hours, but the event is still only 1 hour. If this event were a repeating event, such as a weekly meeting, then clicking Repeating Pattern and select the choice Weekly. Edit the fields as required. My event does not repeat, so I'm going to cancel this. Locations search finds locations that meet your date, time, and head count. Since the audition will be in Wilson, I enter Wilson in the search field. And click Search. Locations in Wilson Hall are returned, but only the ones which match the requirements. To request a location, click the blue Reserve button. I will request Wilson 210. This is added below. If this event has more than one location, you can reserve more than one location. If you should make a mistake, clicking the Remove will remove that reservation. If there are any conflicts, it will show in this window below, as well as layouts. If the location supports multiple layouts, select the appropriate layout for your event. Be aware that different layouts have different room capacities. Resources are used infrequently and will be passed over for now. Attached files are for uploading, for instance, copies of contracts that you would like to attach to this event. As I mentioned earlier, event types drive certain extra questions or requirements. Additional event information is one of these examples. Select Add a Custom Attribute and select the question or statement that you would need to add to this event. Because my event was a performance, then alcohol is listed as a possible custom attribute. This also informs student affairs, public safety, and catering of the request or the needs. Contact roles are primarily those who requested the event and those who scheduled the event. By default, the person who signed into 25 Live Pro is both. If a distinction is needed, the requestor is the person running the meeting. The scheduler is the person entering the event information in 25 Live Pro. I'm going to change the requester to a different individual. As you can see, you can also make contacts favorites as well by clicking the white star to make it yellow. Requirements are another section created because of the event type selected. This is required. Check what is applicable or check I to acknowledge that you do not need any of the above requirements. Internal notes are viewable by the event requester and scheduler. These may be details about the event only needed by the requester or scheduler. Event state can be confirmed, which is the default, or tentative. Before clicking Save in the lower right corner, confirm the action after saving this event. Click Save to complete the EventWizard. On the Details page, you will see information about the event you created. Across the top is the title, the event state, the internal ID number, the date and time, and the location with a blue cube. If this location and blue cube is missing, this means your event is waiting for location approval. You will receive an email once the location has been approved or denied. Thank you for watching the second video in this 25 Live series.